Hey guys, Moplux back with another countdown video for you guys. In this countdown video, we're going to be counting down the 5 scams and lures in RuneScape. Now I say scams and lures because, well, let's face it, a lure is basically a scam, and a scam could possibly be considered a lure. A few of you have suggested this to me, so I'm finally doing it, and to you guys who suggested it, that's wrong. Why would you want to see that? I'm just kidding. Thank you guys who suggested this, as well as all of you who have left suggestions in the comment sections of our videos. Let's get it going. Warning. This is the part of the video where I stress to you all that this video should not be used as a scamming guide, but rather be used to take the further precautions necessary in order to keep your items safe, such as bank pins. Seriously, get a bank pin. Number 5. The Berthorpe Games Room Lure / scam. Anyway, the way this particular scam worked was 3 friends would all pick somebody who had pretty good items and then give them a games necklace and tell them to teleport to the Berthorpe Games Room. They would take the victim down on the first level of the games room into a secluded room in which 2 scammers would be. As you can see in this video, the guy who is leading the scam has his friend near him, and he tells the victim that he wants to play a little game. He makes the victim challenge one of his friends to a game that you can play in the games room, and the friend opens the game menu but doesn't press accept. While the leader of the scam's friend has that menu open, he will tell the victim that they should move to a different area upstairs, so his items don't get stolen whilst playing the game. Or something like that. So the leader will take the victim upstairs and then tell him to drop all of his items, and he'll give him 25 mil or something like that. The victim drops all of their items, trades the person, but while the trade screen is up, the leader of the scam's friend who was downstairs finally presses that accept button that he never pressed before, thus making the victim appear downstairs in a totally different room where he was before upstairs. Then the leader of the scam has a couple of friends block the doors by closing them while the victim is panicking and trying to open them to get back to the area where he dropped his stuff. As you can see in the video though, this guy got the PID and made it back okay. Wow, I bet his heart was racing. Number 4, the Brass Key Lure. This one wasn't being used until just about a year ago, but basically the lure starts out with the player giving the victim a brass key and some teleport tabs or scrolls. The scammer then tells the victim to go inside the little shack and drop all of their expensive gear, promising them valuable items and money when they come back out and give the scammer back his teleporting tabs. The scammer proceeds to trade the victim when they come back out of the shack, and while the victim is clicking on the teleporting tabs to be able to put them up in the trade screen, the scammer will decline the trade, making it to where the victim accidentally presses one of the teleporting tabs that he was trying to put in the trade screen, causing them to teleport somewhere far, far away from the actual shack where the scam is being taken place. The scammer goes into the shack and waits for the player's items that they dropped inside to appear, and then it's all GG from there. Number 3, the Red Portal Lure. This one's a big one, and you may get a little bit lost and have to rewatch this over and over to understand it. But basically, this is a 2-man lure that so many other players have fallen victim to. The 2 people who do this lure are going to be called Talker Number 1 and Talker Number 2. Basically, both talkers start out at the GE. These 2 talkers act as if they don't know each other. They find a player by asking them if they'd like to be in an air quote video about RuneScape. They tell them to wear their best items so they can look sharp in the video, but in actuality there is no video being made and their best items will soon no longer be theirs. This is when Talker Number 2 comes in. Talker Number 2 is a newbie account and notices you're filming a video, and he follows you around asking to be in the video too, basically acting like a super noob. To get away from Talker Number 2, the noob, Talker 1 gives the victim a games necklace and tells them to go to the Gamer's Grotto. Shortly after they're there, Talker Number 2 comes in and tells you, haha, I found you because you said games necklace out loud, or something to that effect, to make it look less obvious that this is in fact a lure. So Talker Number 1 and the victim go into the white portal where on death items are safe, but the annoying noob Talker Number 2 follows you guys and states that he knows that items are safe while in the white portal. Because of this, Talker Number 1 messages the victim and tells them that maybe they should go into the red portal but stay in the safe zone. Talker Number 2, the noob, won't follow them because he doesn't want to be killed in the red portal. Once Talker Number 1 and the victim are inside the red portal, they run far to the west, so that if Talker Number 2, the noob, does come into the portal, he won't see them and eventually give up trying to find them. This is the part where the Talker Number 2 logs off the noob account and gets on his main account in which he's going to kill the victim with. Because Talker 1 and the victim are all the way to the west, Talker number 2 on his main account can run into the north after going through the red portal unseen by the victim. The victim realizes that he is in the red portal but has no clue that this is a lure. Talker number 1 ensures that the video they're trying to make is legit by asking the victim all sorts of questions about RuneScape. After the fake video is supposedly over, Talker number 1 runs into the wilderness just a little bit and drops 10k around a specific tree and then comes back into the safe zone. The 10k cash pile on the ground looks similar to 5 mil or 100 mil, no matter what the amount is, which is what the victim believes the real cash amount to be. Talker number 1 then gives the victim some law runes and air runes to telegrab the money when it appears, but since the money is placed just right behind the tree, when they go to telegrab it, they'll actually end up running into the wilderness. Talker 1 has already left the area and the red portal completely, so the victim thinks they're alone, but in reality, Talker number 2, who got off the noob account and is now on their main account, is waiting for the victim to take those couple steps in, and then they'll rush in with claws or barrage or whatever and get his items. Number 2, the cash stack / 1 coin lure. This is a one-man lure in which a scammer gets a random player with a decent cash stack away from Varrock West Bank and takes them into the house located just a little bit west of the bank upstairs to where there is a gold rug on the ground. The scammer then finds a way for the victim to feel safe or confident enough to drop their cash stack underneath them on the gold rug. The scammer drops a coin on top of where the victim dropped their huge cash stack, which causes a graphical error in the game with money. When the scammer goes and picks back up their 1 coin, it will actually turn the victim's giant looking cash stack to look like 1 coin instead of a pile of coins on the ground. Because the gold rug blends in with the color of that 1 coin, the scammer picks up their 1 coin, causing the giant cash stack pile to disappear, and they run off downstairs saying something to the effect of like, haha, I just got your money or something like that, and the victim goes and follows them trying to get their money back. But in reality, the real big cash pile is actually still on the ground, but it looks like 1 gold coin, and it blends in with the rug. I have no idea if this graphical error was ever fixed or patched, but I do know a lot of people still fall for this lure today. Number 1, the GE Cannon Lure. This is a solo lure which requires you to multi-log. Do you know where the shortcut is to go out of the GE and over the bridge towards Edgeville? Well, that's how the lure starts. You find a victim at the GE and tell them you figured out how to AFK cannon the Corporal Beast, which everybody knows you cannot do. Basically, you tell the victim to place their cannon next to that hole near the GE, the agility shortcut in the ground at a specific spot, and tell them to begin firing it. The cannon continues to rotate around and around looking for something to fire upon. Your second account should be standing near the wilderness ditch with a summoning pouch in its inventory. Account number 1 should be within 30 combat levels of the victim, and account number 2 at the wilderness ditch near the cannon should be within a few levels of the victim, otherwise the lure will not work. Account number 1 and the victim teleport to the Corporal Beast, and the victim should be wearing at least 3 items so he or she feels safe enough to be near the wilderness, but it soon won't matter because they'll lose all of their items anyway. Account number 1 says for the victim to exit out of the Corporal Beast Cave, which will take them into deep wilderness, but since the victim is only wearing 3 items, he or she will feel confident enough that they won't lose anything, but this is where the second account back near the cannon comes in. The cannon is still looking for something to fire at, so when the second account goes into the wilderness and spawns a summoning familiar, the cannon will fire at the summoning familiar that the noob account spawned, meaning the victim all the way in deep wildy with account number 1 will become Scold, and then account number 1 will proceed to kill the victim and receive all of their items due to the Scold that they received from their cannon firing back at the GE. That's it for this countdown video, and if you guys know what I should be counting down next, post it in the comments and let's make it happen. I hope you guys had a good Christmas, and New Year's is right around the corner, so I'm pretty excited for New Year's. There's a lot of stuff that I would like to leave behind from this year, but I won't get into that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for the continued support, and my 1,000 subscriber special video will be out soon. See you guys later.